YouTube. Oh, wow. That's cool. I can zoom in and out while the TikTok's going. That's good to know. All right, there we go. That seems to be perfect. All right, welcome. Brian. I think you were here this morning, eh, Brian? Welcome back. I think I remember your. Whoa. I'll leave this phone. Okay. All right. May Hernandez. Angel Angel Vargas. Vargas Jr., Frankie Garcia, Erdog 23, The Nikki, Rajib's Rising, Meto, Denver. How's everybody doing? Darcy, Darnell, there you are. Robert Patterson. Isn't that the actor that played the guy in Twilight? I think that's the same guy. Nice to have you here, Twilight dude. Keith, good to have you here. Jacob, what the fuck happened? You're not co-host anymore. Okay, let me try that again. There you go. DK, Lishi, Paul, Sahil, and I guess we'll have a couple people joining us from. Oh, here we go. A couple people joining from YouTube. All right. Well, today's market was very interesting. I said yesterday that today would and could and most likely was going to test support. And boy, did it ever test support. That was quite a test. Let's take a look at the daily so we can get a little perspective on this. And zoom those candles up for you a little bit. So my stock market classes are all about chart reading because that's the backbone. That is just the foundational backbone. It's the vertebrae of this entire thing that you're doing. In investing, investors want to think that they're not traders, but they are. They're just extremely long-term traders. They'll buy something and hold it for 2, 3, 10, 20, 30 years, and then they're going to sell it. So, you got to be able to read charts, and the charts can be fundamental charts as well. I mean, it doesn't have to be price charts. If you happen to be somebody who doesn't believe in price charts, if that's something you want to tell yourself, and it's preventing you from learning how to read charts, you can become a better fundamental investor just as well by reading the fundamental charts. You can see earnings growth, reading to learn charts and understanding how to read trends in charts can come in handy all throughout life. Anyway, what we have here today, we're using candlestick charts, obviously. That's the most common, most widely accepted form of price action reading for hundreds and hundreds of years. It comes from the Japanese rice trading markets. So anyway, today we had a particular kind of candle called a bottoming tail candle. And that is in the case of a bottoming tail candle, that is a bullish sign. And that's when you have a very long wick, like you have here. They call those the wicks, and these are the bodies, and this is the wick. And when you have a very long wick like that, it means that price came way down and then got pushed way back up, and it left like a shadow. That's what that kind of wick is. And that essentially means that we had the opportunity to test if things could be cheaper, if we could bring the market down. And it turned out that only created a ton of buying interest, and people felt that was way too cheap. and they bought it all back up. And as you can see, it's green. The candle is green. So that means that this was the open and this was the close. As far as the body goes, the body forms the open and the close of the market. The beginning of the bell, bing, 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 is the open, and the close, bing, 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 is also is the other side of the body of the candle. So in the case of a red candle, should become instantly obvious to you now that the open is at the top on the top corner, the top left edge, and the close of the market is at the bottom right edge. So that means that price went down mostly all day. And over here, since it's green, the open is at the bottom left edge of the body, and the close is at the top right edge of the body. But since we have this long wick, it tells a little bit of a story. It tells a story that probably, typically in these cases, that price opened here, went down, and then got pushed all the way back up and didn't know when to stop and went up, up, up. But then finally they felt that was pretty much overdoing it, and it pulled back, and by the market closed right there. So if you zoom back a little bit here, you can see that there are some support zones that are built off of what's been happening before. The tops of these candles become areas of psychological support or resistance, depending on which direction price is coming from. And in this case, we have it there, and then we have another set right around here. And if you want to start getting into it, we have another set down here from going back 2 months, or well, about a month. And these create kind of trading zones where price can sometimes get trapped and be bouncing in and around these zones. And it's a bit much to explain right now, but there's bag holders who are left in these areas, and people who want to wait for price to get into those areas to buy again because they feel the market's overpriced. And it just represents an area of extreme psychological importance and actual importance, because it may have left actual people hanging. So the market went and it broke down it broke straight through kind of the most recent support level that we had, and went all the way down into the second support level, and then decided to bounce back up. And that presented actually a really good trading opportunity, which we took advantage of today in our trading group, as the SPY can have a very negative day if it's fresh and it hasn't happened in a long while, and people really are not looking forward or expecting or on the defense for a market drop like that. Well, it typically creates an incredible amount of panic. On a day like today, when the market is going down like it was, I hear like roller coaster screams in my head. Like that's what I imagine the market like. Just I can hear everyone going down the roller coaster and screaming for their life. And the most ironic thing about that, when this happens in the market, and let me zoom up to a closer view so you can really see this. Let's go to the 1 minute. Let's take a look at today on the 1 minute. All right. Well, that was that today? Yeah. Okay. So the interesting thing about when that starts happening, let's see if I can zoom up enough to where we can really see the panic drop. Okay, there it is. Right, is that as it's falling and it's breaking previous levels of where people have invested their money, they've started investing. It's this base level of where people got in, and now they're down, and it just feels terrible. And when it starts to go down further, you have different people with different risk tolerances starting to just bail. And what's ironic is it creates a feedback loop, which is kind of wonderful if you're trying to short SPY, and that's what we did today. We were prepared to short SPY right from the open, although I believe we didn't start until, I don't know when it was, but it wasn't too late. I think it was in the second or third or fourth minute, and we got the full like three points out of it. But anyway, is that when the market starts selling off like that, it scares people to the point where they sell their positions. And what does that do? That just causes the market to drop even further. And then that scares more people, and then they have to sell, and it creates this incredible feedback loop. And it's just wonderful. So if you're playing that side of the market, so I call that particular play the SPY panic drop play. And it comes up about once every 3 weeks, once a month, sometimes once every 2 months. And you can get these really good panic drops. Sometimes they're only a point. You can only get $1 out of them. But sometimes you can get a really big one like we had today. And we made 69%. And on options, we played options on that, made 69%. And it was very, very good. So let's see. So that was the market today, the way it was. And it moved up from the bottom. It reversed right off the bottom. And people just didn't think that this was a serious economic event worthy of such a drop. And they started buying it up, and that created its own little feedback loop where everybody said, "Hey, wait a minute, you're getting in at good prices here. Wait, I want to get in at good prices," and that just kept going all the way up to the point in which it completely erased the entire drop. I mean, just think about that. Why did we have that drop if psychologically we weren't even going to have any of it? So that was a completely somewhat artificial, just happened to be a tipping point in the market, and caused a lot of panic today, but was only momentary. And you can tell that those are moments to take advantage of and to buy up at the bottom when there's no real economic reason for them. Like, or some world event reason, like if North Korea is coming into the picture or something, obviously then, yeah, you probably want to liquidate a lot of your positions because we don't know what's going to be the future. But in this case, it was really just a bit of a tech correction is what it was. And Tesla, I think, went down to about 620 and came all the way back up to 720. Let me take a look. And Tesla is in the S&P, so it does represent the market now, and it did contribute to that drop. But yeah, it hit 619 and came all the way back up to 710. I don't know where it is in after hours. After hours, it's all the way up at 720. Yep. So 100 points on Tesla. So the right thing to do in these situations is A, play the drop, right? And the best way to play that is on SPY, SPY, the S&P 500, because it's going to represent the entire market just dropping, and you're going to get the max out of that because you won't have to be hunting around for, okay, which stock seems to be getting hit the worst. By the time you figure that out, it's going to be too late. So you just take SPY on those moments. And then when it seems like we found bottom, somewhere in here, you can get a confirmed bottom off of a 5-minute candle reversal candle. Then you can start buying up the dip. And they say, the best time to buy is when there's blood in the streets. Missed Tesla, happy about SPY gains, but missed it. Yeah, there was a lot that we missed today. I mean, we couldn't see everything. Amazon hit a great low. Apple hit, what did it hit? I forget. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple hit 118, and then it ended up all the way at, let's take a look. Well, it ended up going all the way up to 127. So we had 10 points of gain on Apple, which was almost 10%, but 8% from low to high gain. Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine if we got Apple today down there instead of yesterday when we bought it at 126? Because I picked up 1,000 shares. That'd be $8,000 just right there in that little, just in a one-day intraday move. Fantastic. Matthew asks, do you think buying puts for AMC is smart? So let's take a look at AMC. I traded AMC today, but the action was not very good as far as day trading it because the bid and the ask was very wide, and breakouts and movements were followed by immediate pullbacks. As you can see, it was very jagged. You see that? You had to take 10 steps forward, 7 steps back. and then 10 steps forward, and then 8 steps back. So it's like really, really, really thrashing you around. But let's take a look at that on the daily chart. Let's see. So the nice thing about what's gone on with AMC and any stock that's become unhinged, like AMC or GME or any of these, is at some point they're going to start to settle in and become a little bit more organic and natural again. And that's when you can start looking at swing trades on them. So here it became unhinged. Let's see if I can point that out with my drawing. So here it became way unhinged, right? Because it went all the way up here. And that was the moment. Whenever you have a stock become unhinged like that, that's the moment when you realize, oh, this now I cannot ascertain any direction anymore on it. It's broken. It's just like it's not even part of the previous chart anymore. It's just broken off. So you don't know if the next day it's going to go down or up. So you don't hold. You do not hold stocks once they become unhinged like that. You don't hold them overnight. You play them during the day. You can do that from pre-market, from the first minute that the pre-market opens to the last minute that it closes. You can have the entire move. You don't have to miss anything. You don't have to have FOMO. You don't have to worry at all about missing any part of the move, but do not hold it overnight. Sell it before the market closes. You do not know what's going to happen. You can lose half your money by the next morning. So, in fact, and that's what happened here. People lost more than half the money by the next morning. But the thing is, now it's come down after being unhinged. There's another little unhinged moment where it dropped down pretty strong. But now it's started to compact and have natural and organic candle movement. That's good. Now you can start to, take on a position. It would have been a good idea to notice this base forming here and to take some of it, because the risk would have been you could get out if it falls and breaks the base, but if it goes up, you can get a huge gain out of it. So if it breaks this base, you might lose 20 cents on your shares, 20 cents per share, right? But if it pops like it did in the last few days, and that can happen with these stocks that have recently gone spiked up and gone crazy. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have $3 of gain on there. So 3 over 5 is, 8 over 5. It's not showing me over here. 8 over 5. The math on that is 60% gain. So you could have 60% gain, but for a risk of 4.8 over 5 of only 4%. So 60 divided by 4, so that's a 15-to-1 risk-reward ratio. So that would be a very good bet to take. See if I can get that out of there. Okay, cool. So anyway, that's my take on AMC, is that right now it has started to lift off, and it would have been a good idea to get in during the base here. And I think if you're already in it, you should probably be just holding, and letting these candles become contiguously connected to each other and do what they do. And then you could jump down to know when your exit's going to be. You could jump down to a lower time frame, so you can have you can follow some of the candlesticks. I'll show you here what I'm talking about. So if you grab like a 4-hour time frame, and you can see that same liftoff that's been going on. Well, I think actually even let's take a look here. What a good time frame would be. Maybe the 8-hour. Even that's not really helping. But the point is that then you can follow. Let's go back to the daily. I'll show you on the daily the strategy you can use to stay in the trade for the longest. You can use the bottom of every candle as your stop loss. And then when you have these huge moves, you get like a large move like that, and then you start to see it start to lose momentum during the day. Just go ahead and average out a little bit. Just take a little bit off. Just sell 10%, sell 20%. So that's how you can play these um, difficult, volatile penny stocks, essentially. All right. Let me take a look at some other stocks that you guys want me to take a look at. Let me see what we have here from TikTok. Somebody asks about trading mindset. Click links in my bio or the links that are around here anywhere. I'll post them right now into the Discord. Into the Zoom, and you can get a link to some books that I recommend. And there's a book there on trading mindset. Here you go. So just go to the link in my bio, and you'll be able to access that. Now tomorrow, let's see. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and we're going to have a free live day trading all day long. So that's going to be really awesome. So I want everybody to go and join our Discord right now. Make sure you do, and so you can experience that. It's going to be awesome. And the Zoom here will have multiple windows with high speed, high frequency trading. We'll be doing options trading as well, and swing trading. I'll call out some swing trades for you to add to your portfolio. And we do that every day, but tomorrow it's free. So you'll be able to taste like what that's like. And so I definitely encourage you to go in and join now so you don't forget. It's going to be early in the morning, and there you go. I'll mention it again towards the end of the program tonight. So somebody wanted to take a look at, Apple. Everybody wants to look at Apple. We just kind of did, but on the day trade basis. Let's take a look on the daily basis. So Apple, just like the market, Apple and Tesla kind of led the market because there's such a big portion market cap of the market. Apple put in a similar bottoming tail bullish candle right there at the 50 moving average. And I think it's just wonderful. It's the perfect candle for that. It's an excellent buying opportunity. Would have been good to buy in after hours or certainly during the day, or amazingly, if you could have gotten it during the dip today, that would have been outstanding. But as you can see, how often has Apple ever gone lower than the 50 moving average? We have it touching right here, and then we have it getting nowhere close for a long time since the last market crash. So it's very rare you get an opportunity to get into Apple at this much of a discount. So it's at an excellent price point right now. And if the market happens to beat Apple up a little more and it zigzags and does this kind of thing, that's fine. But in general, this price is a great price. You should be very happy to get Apple in this range in the 120s. Excellent price. So for a swing trade or for an investment or short, medium, long-term investment, anything on Apple, short, medium, long-term, this is a good time to get in. You wouldn't want to be getting in up at the top, up here, because you'd need to probably wait, half a year before you maybe even see that price again the way this is going, So, or to see a profit. So, that's why you don't buy when things are up. You buy when they're down. And today was a perfect example of that. Would have been a great day to get into Apple. If for some reason the market goes down again tomorrow, I don't think anyone's going to fall for it. You know what I mean? Like everyone's going to buy that up pretty much right away. No one's going to, fool me once, but can't fool me twice, right? So whatever that expression is, shame on you, and then fool me twice, shame on me. Well, nobody's going to let that happen to them twice. But when it's unexpected, like it was today, it presents fresh opportunities. Really, you can get a great discount. Let me just pull from the YouTube here. Let's see. Hey, Nick, how are you? Andrew, what's up? I like the way you described that. All right. Consider a lot of new people who got in stocks. That's how they panic. Yep. Marv, how you doing? Do you think buying $400 call option for Into is a good idea? Well, I don't know. Let's take a look at it. All right. So it's at around 400 right now. So number one, when you want to get options, you always want to get it more in the money. Okay. So like 0.75 delta will get you 5 to 15% in the money. And so in that case, it would be something more like, instead of 400, you'd get like the 360 or the 370, 380, something like that. But anyway, I think that there could be some more mean reversion before you get in on that. Because take a look at that. Where's the best buy area? If you were looking at these colored lines, the colored lines are the moving averages. The yellow one on my chart is the 20, and then you have the 50, then you have the 100, and then you have the 200. And Kelly says 360, 360 right at the 50, at the 100, right. And yeah, I would say that would be an excellent opportunity that would come up more rarely. It's been about 5 months since this particular stock has seen an opportunity like that. It could be, if you're looking at it as like, how strong is it lately? It could be that it's not really going to be going down to to the 100 anymore. It could be that it's very strong right now and it wants to bounce off of the 50. You can see that, right? So that's what I think. And so in my mind, the best place to get this would be something closer to, where that 50 might be soon, which is about 384. So you could get in now, but I don't think you'd be getting in at the optimal point. Or perhaps you want to get in now so you don't miss something. But frankly, it looks like it always cuts through the 20 moving average. Do you see that? It always cuts through the 20. It's only held one time out of so many times. Often cuts through that 20 moving average, and that's where it is right now. So it may have a good day tomorrow with the market, but in general, it's probably going to continue to turn around and try to attract buyers down in the 384 area. Hopefully that helps you. Javier asks, hey, bro, I'm buying another PC this weekend. Would you mind sharing with us your computer specs for the people that care? So Javier, if you're trying to do high frequency trading like I do, you should be fine with any of the, basically when it comes to computers, the chip is the most important thing. When you think about it, the entire computer, the case, the ports, the motherboard, the hard drives, everything really is an extension. It's all leading back with all the wires and through logic control. It's all leading back into this like very tiny, little square. It's unbelievable, really. I mean, your entire computer really is just that little square. Everything that's being figured out what to do is happening in that little square. Everything else is just like, because they couldn't fit all the other shit into that little square space, which is bullshit in my opinion. They should get all that compacted too. But anyway, that's the way it is right now. So like some people don't need high performance such and such, and they want better cooling here and this or that. CPU, therefore, my point is the most important thing that you can do. And I forget what I have in here. It's you send me a private message, okay, and I'll get back to you on that. But it's definitely Intel, and I know that it's possibly 12 dual core, so like 24 core, probably more than that, and 64 gigabytes of RAM. You could probably grab some more RAM. Basically, if you build yourself a gaming computer and then don't use it for anything else, then you're going to be so set. The feed, the market feed, and the speed in which I can place an order and get it filled is so phenomenally fast. It's astounding. And like you can see the market data in real time at such a high speed that it's even faster than like in that Matrix movie. It's so fast. It's so fast. It would boggle your mind. And then when you put in an order, if you have direct access broker, and then you've connected it up with high speed trading software, like for day trading, you can get your orders filled in less than a millisecond. So sub millisecond order fills. You just got, you're at the mercy of the ping of your network, but it's so fast that it's really actually unfair. because it's almost like Quicksilver, from like I don't know which freaking comic book series that's from, Marvel Universe or whichever one. I don't think it is Marvel. Maybe it is, but X-Men Universe. I don't know who owns that or created that. But in any event, it's like Quicksilver. It's like you can literally just be like, oh, I should enter now, and everyone else sees all that data 200 milliseconds, 500 milliseconds, which is half a second for anybody who doesn't know, a second later, 2 seconds later. Then they have to react. They have to think and then react. And meanwhile, you've already you could have bought and sold. You could have bought and sold faster than somebody else could have even seen the data and made a decision and then sent their order and then waited for it to fill. I mean, the whole thing could be all over. You could have bought and sold 3 or 4 times in that same amount of time. It's that fast. So Javier, definitely message me about trading computers, and I can help you with that. Yeah, it is mind blowing. I mean, you literally are like Quicksilver because when you put your order in, you're in like a safe bubble zone. You're like, I am one of the earliest ones, right? And you're not going to let it get away from you because you're seeing it the moment it's starting. So it's a really unfair advantage, but it's definitely costs as well. It can be about $200 to $500 a month to pay for feeds like that and to have that kind of access. The reason why it's that fast, by the way, is the servers are about 6 feet from the NASDAQ trading floor over in New York City. So the cables are so fast that the electricity between when you have, your order is being asked to be sent to the NASDAQ servers, it's a very short amount of distance, from you to the server is a bit over the internet, but for it to actually execute, they call it, like, there's a broker called Lightspeed. They have servers right there in the room that's just like 6 feet away from the main wall. And that makes it really, 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 really fast. And they call it light speed because it's, electricity, I think, is 1/10 the speed of light, but it's still quite fast. Or maybe it's a fiber optic connection now. So there you go. It is light speed. No. Arjun asks, Arjun, I think, asks $200 to $500 a month for the chip. No. $200 to $500 a month for the feed, for the high speed connection, and when you include certain commissions and ECN fees, et cetera, for having that connection and having your broker account, that's how much it might cost you per month to always have that. Fees. Yeah, fees. Yes. All right, I was a little confused. No worries. I'm a beginner and I only have $100. So would you recommend to put it all into one stock or evenly divide it into a couple of stocks? It depends on what part of the world you're from, sir. But if you can, make more money and keep putting $100 into that sort of situation you just described, that would be great. I don't know that, you're going to see $100 grow necessarily in a meaningful way, although it could for you. I don't know. But yeah, one stock, he says, put it all into one stock. If you had to put it all into one stock, you probably choose like VOO or SPY. Yeah. And I mean, you could create a all-weather, fully diversified, crash-proof portfolio divided into 25 different asset groups with fractional shares to protect your $100 and make sure that it goes up to $200 over the next 7 years. But I think that you're going to get a lot more out of just making some more money and investing that money. All right, Workhorse dropped 50% today. Did it? Wow. Oshkosh got the contract. Wow. Amazing news. I didn't hear that. Where was I? Would you say this is an overreaction? Maybe. That might be an overreaction. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Workhorse. Let's see. I guess it happened during the market today, and I just wasn't paying attention because I was looking for things that were trying to move up. So, like, Workhorse came out, right? When would you say was the rumor of the United States Postal Service potentially um, giving their contract to Workhorse? When was that? I'm talking about originally, like months ago. When was that? When did that begin? And I'll tell you what Workhorse is worth. Okay, so that's what Workhorse is worth. So go back to mid June, and there it is. It's $3.43. Okay, so all of this is, been post USPS contract hype, and now it's like, wait a minute, no contract. Oh, all right. Was the company growing at a particular rate before that? Not really. It was even going down and then up and down, kind of going sideways. So hard to say that this trajectory is a good trajectory, is a non-USPS trajectory. It looks like it wasn't. My calculations on the fundamental side of things were that it would have been worth about $105 per share had it been awarded the contracts. So the question was, where was it? The question was, do I think this is an overreaction? Um, no, I don't. And I think it probably has a lot more room to fall and a lot more room to prove itself as a company. So now that USPS is out of the picture, it could be a year or two before we really can get a good sense for the company to see what it can do. And now, I guess you said Oshkosh. Okay, it got that contract, and now they're going to be beating the pants off of others because they got that contract. So you see, it's all about market share, and now Workhorse has lost market share. That means they lost competitive footing, and so we'll have to see if Workhorse can innovate enough through that space and actually break through and be valued for more than just another, EV company. Uh, Postponed the contract until first quarter 21, but had it already announced. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, we already know that. CCIV is going to revert back to the SPAC company. How do you know when a company like CCIV is going to revert back to the SPAC company? I mean, a ton of money was dumped into CCIV, and then they flipped tail and went the other way. I'm not, I haven't been following CCIV the last few days, other than day trading it as an opportunity. Is that what happened? They decided not. No, they didn't decide not to. Yeah, the stock seems to be doing just fine, right? Well, I guess, I think it did drop, right? Yeah, it did drop half. So I don't know what the news is on that. I don't know what the situation is on that, but, do your due diligence for sure. The CCIV overreaction, I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. Yeah, I'd have to look into that. What I think was an overreaction was it going to 64. Ask me, that was an overreaction. All right. No, 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 no. I'm not going to really be going over a lot of like SPAC talk in here per se. Although we have a lot of good analysts who do SPAC plays and follow the SPACs in our group. So love to have you talk about that in the group. All right, let's take a look at somebody on TikTok here. Buy the dip, CTRX. Neo futures. What time am I live tomorrow? An hour, about half an hour to an hour before market open, and then all day. Why is Litecoin and Doge down right now? Besides the fact of Bitcoin, I don't know. That is a bit of a mystery to me. I think that there's been a lot of talk about how crypto's getting a lot of exposure, and so it's getting a lot of analysis as well. And I think there's been a lot of talk about how crypto may not may evolve beyond current crypto, and so there's a lot of uncertainty about that. Like, it's like we've discovered a new kind of money, and well, as far as cryptocurrency, and it seems that there's room for there to be innovated um, new cryptocurrency, uh, um, what's the word? Techniques or ideas, not technology, but new cryptocurrency formula, if you will, that can outmote previous cryptocurrencies. And so I think there's been a lot of analysis and talk about that, about how, for example, I mean, Ethereum can completely just render Bitcoin somewhat worthless. And there could be more coming along that could render Ethereum, outmoded. So, it's not quite like gold in that way, because, gold will always be gold. But uh, yeah, I think that may be what's going on with Bitcoin, is that there's been a lot of analysis lately. And so there's some trepidation about the security of the instruments, of the asset classes. What has been a beautiful sea of red for 2 weeks now. Put credit spreads all day. Okay, sure, yes. Uh, AMD. Let's take a look at AMD. I think I remember this guy. Wait a minute, AMD. Who asked that? Jason Derulo is this guy's name. Obviously not Jason Derulo, but I think I remember this guy coming into one of our discords once before. AMD is kind of the same situation as Apple. And the rest is they put in a bottoming tail candle, and it's bullish, and the future looks pretty good on it. As you can see, the ascending value line on the bottom edge is something like this. And so now has been the first time in a long time that you've been able to get AMD at a price that's worthwhile. And that's really the way I like to trade, swing trade, invest, is I'm not interested in buying anything in this area up here. You won't find me ever buying anything in these areas. That entire zone is non-entry area for me. These are the entry areas down there in the bottom end of the channels. And up here is profit taking and averaging out, or sometimes averaging out, and profit taking. So yeah, so those are the moments you wait for. You don't want to be in AMD when it's going sideways. Now when it's down, that's great. You got it during low tide. All right, enough about AMD. Let's see, TXMD. I believe that's just another penny stock. Well, let me take a look. Yeah. So yeah, that's just a penny stock. There's not much you can tell sometimes on these charts. I mean, you might have thought that there could have been. So that's why we're looking at it. But when it comes to penny stocks, a lot of the movement isn't because of actual business growth, or that's reflected in the valuation of the company and then seen in the chart. It's more news, hype, and the bullshitting, and then shelf offerings, and then the price dropping, and a lot of manipulation. I mean, penny stocks are just rife with. It's just a minefield of bullshit. So anyway, as you can see here, it's just going down and down and down and down. And I think that from a charting perspective, I'd like to see it start to level off before it gained my interest. Like, what did we look at the beginning of the day, at the beginning of the session today? What was that? It starting to curve up the last 2 days. Shoot, I can't remember right now. But I would like to see it kind of do that. No, it wasn't CTXR. Charlie, nice try. That's a funny one, though. That's a good one. But see, I'd like to see it do this kind of a thing. Kind of like chill out, calm down, start compacting, create a base, and then maybe I would start to get interested in taking a position, because it could go from 1.6 to 25% higher, like 2. Not that big of a deal. I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to get into that waiting for 3 weeks for it to do that. That's just dumb. Like, you can just make so much more money investing in something else that could make you the same amount of money in 1 day or 2 days. LOP. LOL. All right, let me check out over on the YouTube. All right, cool. Yeah, hey everybody on YouTube. And over on TikTok, I'm looking for a double bottom on. What were you talking about? Thoughts on TMXE? Yeah, you're looking for that. Yeah, exactly, bro. L Bows. I don't know what your name is, but exactly. Like it might not even be a double bottom that you want to get, that you want to see, because it could do this and then double bottom on you, and then do this, and then you're like, yeehaw, I got it at the double bottom, and then to do this, So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. What I'd like to see is for the kind of compacting that I was talking about to go on a wedging, some kind of a wedge formation or a base formation would be excellent. Multiple taps of a baseline, excellent. All right, but anyway, that's a penny stock. So there's a lot of other much better things you could put your money on. Like, look at this. This is let's take a look at like Crocs. I want you to look at that chart, nice and long. You put your money into that at any point, and in 1 year it's going to be double, triple, quadruple the amount. Okay, so maybe you don't want to wait a year. You're impatient and you want to bet on weird ass crazy penny stocks. Well, good luck. That's gambling compared to this. That's gambling compared to this. This is sure. This is certainty. But when you go with something like, what was that one, TXMD? Let's take a look at the 1 year on TXMD and compare that. Yeah, this is like totally uncertain. It's all over the place. So you want to try and pick certainty when you're trading, and when you're swing trading, and when you're investing. Certainty is your friend. Do I like ETFs? Raymond asks. 100% absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We got into all the ARCs the last few days. We got into ARC K, ARC W today, ARC G, ARC Q. So those are all ETFs with various holdings. But I also love a lot of other ETFs. Thinking off the top of my head, some ETFs. Well, I can't think of any right now, but I have a huge list of 288 of my favorite ETFs on my big whiteboard over here. So I alert them when I see them coming into a good position on a daily basis in our group. Did you double down on ARC K today? All right, I think I did too. Yeah, way to go. And ARC Q. Yeah, definitely was a good day to do that. When it's a good stock that today was green day for the stock in the past 2 weeks. Yeah, that's true. You follow my lead. Okay, good. Yeah, excellent. Can we get to the tour of the stock room? Well, yeah, in a couple of weeks. I'm still waiting on some replacement monitors. And then I've got my second grid of 4 monitors to set up over here. And then actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the like a 360 webcam. So that's gonna be kind of cool. You can just be with me and like look around the room like during live stream trading. That's coming in the next couple weeks. It's gonna be pretty cool. What time do we have here? All right, we got about 12 more minutes of looking at tickers, and then we'll take a look at what potentially could be on the radar tomorrow for free live day trading day all day. Make sure you click the link in the bio and join our group tonight, right now, so that you can be live day trading with us tomorrow. I bought TXN at 170. Can we look at it for a price target? Oh, sure. So you did do it. All right, good job. Let me see. Shit, man. Did you get 170? Oh my God. You must be like just wow. I can't even imagine the emotion you feel about getting TXN at 170. Wow. Way to go. Way to listen. Because today, was it Kelly? Who asked that? Who said that? Kelly. Yeah. Kelly asked today, could I take a look at TXN? I'm not sure why I did, because I was busy as fuck, but somehow I did, and it wasn't down at 170. And he said, I think it was the beginning of the market, like, hey, is it a good buy over here? And I said, no, not really. I wouldn't really be interested in TXN unless it got down to this 100 moving average line. Which would be for, I took a gander, that's about 170. So, Kelly, is that where you bought it down there, around 170? Yeah, I think he did. And wow, can you imagine that? This guy just bought the bottom of Texas Instruments, and probably the contract was pretty cheap. How much was that contract? Because it only moves like 10 points in a month. So I'm guessing it was like $180 or something pretty cheap. How much was that contract, Kelly? Ebon. Oh, okay, sorry if you touched on it. Ebon. Yeah, many people asking about Ebon. Um, I don't have a credit card to join your membership. You don't have to. You can still join our Discord for free. We just have total free access. Click the Discord link. So when you go to the link to my bio, click the one that goes to Discord, not the Primetime Trading Group trial sign up. Go to the Discord and you can just come right in, be free. In fact, you can join this Zoom right now by coming in there, and then you can see this more full screen. Yeah, like $200. That's so good. And you said you're already up $129, 239. Okay, so you're already up. Let's see, 239 plus 129. It sounds like. So it's at 368 now. So 368 divided by 239. So you're already up 54% on something that was supposed to be a swing trade. In other words, dude, you should have probably bought more, and you're probably going to get a huge return on that. Let's see. Let's just calculate it. So if it goes up to 182, you bought the 170 at 170, so that'd be a 50 delta. And it goes up to say 182, 184. Let's say 184 from 174, which is almost where it's at right now, or 12 points. You get another 6 points out of that, $600. So I mean, it's not a lot of money. I mean, $600 or $729, but 729 divided by 239 is a 205% return. So that's what you can look forward to on Texas Instruments. Good job. So the price target, yeah. Let's take a look at that. The price target would be along the top end of the channel. And you could just kind of like in the future, if you want to figure this out for yourself, you just figure, okay, what baseline or line am I basing my entry on? And in this case, it was the 100, right? So then you say, okay, where does this stock end up frequently, reliably? Where can I get it reliably that it frequently goes to on the other side of that, parallel to that line? And so we can just like sort of roughly draw a line on through this 100 moving average right there. Okay, I think I'm pretty close. And then we can just draw a parallel line on the other side, and it needs to be parallel. And there you go. Look at that. You'd be very happy. And it looks like it's just extremely likely to bounce around inside that channel and touch the top of that in the future. That's what you have coming for you. And let's say it takes a month about to get there. And let's say it takes on this trajectory. Then you'd be looking at 184. That's what I said, 184. So that can change in time though. Like let's say it goes down and it takes a little bit more time to get up there and it finally hits up here. Well, guess what that price is? 187. Okay, so it's going to increase. The price target's going to change over time. So if it gets there fast, let's say it gets there in like 3 days, it's like boom, boom, boom. That's 182. So you probably would take that, and that's just the way the trade goes. So yeah, all right, good job. EBON. Some people wanted me to take a look. Even a lot of people wanted me to take a look at EBON. I guess it's some kind of a penny stock that everyone's getting hyped up about, hopped up on. Gosh, I don't know why multiple people want to look at this shitty stock, but it's pulled back for 3 days in a row. You should not be holding because it became unhinged. What I mean by unhinged is it started to put in multiple disconnected days with gaps in a row. And so it's not swing tradable. It's not, you can't hold it overnight anymore. You have to day trade it. So for example, when it popped up this huge, it closed here on this day and then opened here that next day, that's a huge, almost unprecedented gap up. and then it actually fell all the way back down, and then went back up, and then closed here. I mean, talk about a wild ride. You should have known at that point that stock has become unhinged, and you should sell by the close of that day. The next day, it opened, gapped down, so you would have saved that money, and then you could say, "Hey, I'm going to get in. This seems like potential." However you want to trade these penny stocks. So you get in, and then it goes way up here. You start to see it coming back down. Don't give back 25% of your profits. Sell right there, and then wait for the next day. Next day, it opens here. It goes pretty much down all day, so don't get in. Next day, it gaps down here. It goes down all day, so don't get in. Next day, it gapped down here, and it gapped and went down just about all day. What's the theme here? All 3 of these days, 1, 2, 3, you spent no money. You got in no trades. You did not hold overnight, and all you did was make money on this upside. That's the way I want you to be trading. Do not be holding this shit stocks overnight. When they get like this, these penny stocks get like this. No. And don't fall for, if you're a new investor, then you're not an investor. Okay. So until you can become experienced, then maybe you can call yourself an investor. If you're new to the stock market, give it some time. Don't use real money. Practice in a simulator. Use like Thinkorswim free account. You can download it from TD Ameritrade. You don't have to put any money into it, and you can trade the markets. You can actually even replay the markets any day in history, and you can practice trading the markets at night. Let's say you have a day job, so you can practice until you're profitable. Set up swing trades. Make sure that you know what you're doing first. It's like, if you don't know what you're doing, you are literally gambling. All right, next up, it's a blockchain stock. Okay. OSK. All right, you're going to have to tell me like a reason why to check it out. Check out ACUIF. What do you think? Yeah, I'm not going to do what do you thinks. You got to tell me why you want me to take a look at something. Would you sell Workhorse? We already looked at it, Donzi. Workhorse puts, good move or no, Charlie? We already looked at it earlier. No. Do you look for candlestick name like hammer and shooting star candles? I know what they represent, and when I see them, I know that they have a certain amount of probability to them, and expectation around them, and meaning to them. And so when I see a candlestick that I'm familiar with, it gives me insight. I don't necessarily look for them. In other words, I don't look for like an inverse hammer trying to find something, because there's so many reasons why price might bottom, and it doesn't always form an inverted hammer when price bottoms. Okay, it does not always do that. So look at the speed. Look at the speed on those orders back there. Can you guys see that it was running? It's like, where is it? Here it is. The level 2. Sometimes it's like, yeah. I mean, that is a real-time feed, very fast. All right. Oshkosh just released a new USPS electric vehicle. Yeah. And how we talked about it earlier. Don't come into class late and then think you know what I mean. Don't come to class late. All right. What do you think of Plug? It filled all the gaps. Any thoughts? Bought in at 48 yesterday at market close. Okay, see, that's a good, well-explained reason why we're taking a look at it. All right, let's take a look. Don't worry. Inhale. Well, it looks like we got some kind of earnings call coming up soon on Plug. Earnings that release on the 25th. So, and it's not running up to that earnings release. I think, the valuation on Plug is that it's this line right here. Well, if you can kind of follow it, the way it's buckling over, it's like for a while it followed the 20, right? Can you see that? Then it decided, hey, I'm going to follow, the 100, but now it's below the 100. So, I mean, the 50. So now, what is it going to do? I don't know. Maybe it's going to level off at the 100, or even go down. I mean, I'm seeing just a lot of reasons why I would think that the momentum is now to the downside on plug and related stocks, FCell, et cetera, et cetera. Can you look at Fulgent Genetics? It hit 180 last week, and now it's at 100. I imagine you're asking about that because you're in it. Because why would we look at anything that was at 180 and it is now at 100? Like, you've just basically told me why we shouldn't look at it. So we're not going to look at it. And get the fuck out of that position, because if you lost that much money, man, get out. All right, Corsair. Just got to tell it like it is, man. I don't want you to lose money. And that's, yeah. Corsair, swing trade idea for your alert. I mean, it's definitely a good point to get it because it's at the base of that low end, right? But what's the upside? So it does this again. So we go from 38 to 48, and how reliable is that? I mean, it keeps touching this bottom side. At what point do people just say, screw it, give me all my money, I'm going to go put it on Tesla, whatever? So I just don't see a lot of continuation potential with it. I see a sideways play at best. Like we look at Crocs again. On that I see a different kind of potential, a really good potential. I see, we could get in when it gets to the bottom of this channel, and get it at 67. It goes to 85, and it'll be cheap and highly reliable. And I don't have to worry about it breaking down on us, although that did happen to us once. Palantir is a stock we've talked about before. Kathy Wood just invested a ton of money into it for her ARK ETFs. Right, I remember that. I have it for a long-term play, but it's been taking losses. Any thoughts? So, watch out with those long-term play thoughts. Like, if you didn't, you may not have thought out. Either you should be out, because your long-term play idea thesis broke the point in which you said to yourself, I'm not going to be in this anymore if it does X, Y, Z, right? And that's that point in which you've gotten to where you're talking to me about it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to watch out, kind of like how you put yourself at risk depending on those the position duration that you're looking at. As far as Palantir goes, I mean, you could potentially see that it has this appreciating baseline. I mean, there's basically no price action underneath this, and all the price action is above this baseline. So that's an uptrend. So it's in an uptrend. It gets quite hyped, which is good, but it also means that it's hard to get in, and it's hard to keep it kind of on track because it gets crazy. So, but there's also the potential that it could be a triple top going on here. There could be another shoulder coming in, and then it breaks down. So, when it comes to like any kind of investment, that's not the kind of investment I like to be in. Something that looks like that. I like to be in something like Crocs. We're going to keep coming back to Crocs like we used to. I mean, look at that. Just look at it. And there's about 30 to 50 stocks out there on the market that are like that. And those are my secret sauce. And, join our group and I'll alert those swing trades when they come. All right, Arun, see you later. But yeah, all right. It is time now to start to take a look at what might be on the horizon tomorrow. So first thing I want to take a look at is after hours, if any earnings came out and those particular stocks may have popped heavily. Looks like WES, maybe, no, Upwork. Okay, Upwork, of course. Let's take a look at Upwork. All right, so Upwork in after hours is at 61, which is a new all-time high. So that's great. That's looking at it from the daily perspective. But now let's take a look at it on like the 5-minute chart, because we want to see a certain kind of shape in the after hours. Okay, this is good. We can work with this. This is a shape that's workable. It's a huge bullish reaction. Okay, of 64.5 divided by 52 of 24%. Wow, really, really big. A 24% bullish reaction. And then what I'm just eyeballing here, what looks like about a 25% pullback, maybe a 30% pullback, but it held. It held. That's the most important thing, that it held that base, that it held the pullback. And in fact, it started to show excitement and further interest, even while the after hours market was dwindling in parties and volume. It started to break and make some new highs in that respect, and ended up off of that baseline. So that's very good. That's the kind of chart pattern we're looking for. And tomorrow we hope to see something. I'm just going to freehand it off on the right here, but like where it goes up again, takes some levels, and then continues up even more. Anything that can do that is excellent. I don't think anyone. There isn't a hedge fund. There isn't an institutional trading firm around that tomorrow could force the market down and fool anyone. So we've got checkmate right now. Tomorrow, the market is not going down. You understand? Because from game theory perspective, that move cannot happen. That's not in the game theory books. So the market's going up tomorrow. The only question is, how tricky is it going to be as it does that? But and it's going to be very tricky if you ask me, probably Elliott waves and harmonic patterns and stuff. It's going to be probably quite tricky, but it'll be the upside. So, you could start the day wherever it is and then just try to muster through the whole thing. And by the end, I'm sure you're going to do quite well. In between, there's going to be a lot of market manipulation and institutional traders, hedge fund trading, trying to trick you into shaking you out. But be aware that no one's going to be fooled if this market goes down again like it did today. It got bought fully up. You'd be an idiot to not buy the dip, you see, at this point, because you already know everybody wants to. And so therefore, if the market were to try to go down, it would get bought up because everybody knows that's the opportunity. That's a great opportunity. It's too obvious. So the market's going to go up and it's going to trick you. It's probably going to go way up and then fall. Maybe that's the move. That might be the move that's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to try and take you way up. So be sure to take your profits if you're way up tomorrow. But by the way, tomorrow is free live trading all day with me. We sit right here together, 100, 200, 300 of you, and we're going to be live trading all day, and I'll be discussing every little micro move. And you can tell me, hey, take a look at this. Hey, take a look at that. We'll have it all on the system and on my radar, and I'll be able to look at every opportunity in live time. What did you ask here? Can I ask a question? Yeah, Sergio, go ahead, man. On Free Wednesday. Yeah, that's good. So Sergio, I don't know if you're typing it, but you better hurry up because we're almost done here. Everybody in the Discord, everybody in the TikTok and everybody in the YouTube, make sure you click through. You can do that now if you like. The session's almost over. I might look at 1 or 2 more stocks, but that's it. Make sure you click through right now and get into our group, whether it's free or buy a trial or whatever. Just get in there because it is free. And tomorrow it's free. So that way you're ready to go. Do you only get in uptrends for swing trades? The market is mostly bullish. So it's like saying, do you ever try to jump out of the atmosphere? It's like gravity is gravity. There's not much you can do about it. The market is always bullish. I mean, the gold is worth more now than it was 100 years ago. Everything. The market basically always goes up, and these bearish periods only usually last about a year and a half. And actually, we're coming up on that point. So, but even so, bearish periods uh, are consist of interwoven bullishness. It's a fight. Bearish periods are really corrections. There's no such thing in that sense as like a bear market, but there is economically. There could be a bear economy, and so yes, that's true. But for the most part, in our country, in the U.S., and all these stocks that we trade and all these businesses, we are completely set up to be bullish, and these bearish moments are very short-lived. So what I'm saying is that yeah, it's a good idea to go with the flow in that sense and take the up direction. But I do not always go in the up direction on swing trades. And once the VIX has returned to under 20, by the way, I was just at the store tonight shopping for the champagne bottle for when the VIX closes under 20. I'm going to pop champagne live. I don't know if I'll get banned from TikTok or whatever for drinking alcohol on air, but I don't know, I'm drinking alcohol tonight anyway. Do I get banned on that? but I think that what was I saying? I don't know. Now I'm on to alcohol. It's just the neurons are now disconnected and want some more alcohol, probably. Can I take a look at tomorrow and Riot? We'll take a look tomorrow. All right. So that's going to be it for tonight. Everybody, make sure you join, click through, and tomorrow we'll take a look more at different opportunities. Looks like Upwork is a great opportunity for one of these swing trades. We'll be doing high frequency day trading. So that's for really intense setups. We can do 1 minute and 5 minute candle type day trading. You guys who have been with me for a while know those strategies from the 924 class. And we'll be doing the mega dip buy trades on these options positions. So like for Upwork, I made $4,000 2 days ago, yesterday on Coles, KSS. And then we did the same thing today on SPY with the panic drop. And by the way, that was puts. So that was making money on the way down. All right. Good night. Good night, everybody. I really appreciate y'all being here. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the morning when we can all together do really well tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. There's going to be some opportunity tomorrow. People are flipping out. People are wondering, what can I get into? They're definitely smelling opportunity. When you see a dip get bought up like that, oof, it just activates people. I think tomorrow's going to be a really good day. What software can I use to start practicing without real money? Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade, and find my email, private message me, however you can get to me. Shoot me your first and last name and your email address, and I'll send you an invite code. And then when you sign up, eventually, when you deposit real money, you'll get a bonus, and I'll get a bonus. We'll both get a bonus for you doing that. That applies to anybody and everybody. If you want to get on my platform, which is Thinkorswim. All right, guys, have a good night. Turning it off now, switching it off. See you in the morning. Bye-bye. Too bad you have to work tomorrow.